Welcome to this week's video blog on the law. As the holiday season approaches, many people and businesses plan on hosting holiday parties. Most of these parties involve serving alcohol, which in turn gives rise to certain legal responsibilities for the host of the party. This area of law is called social host liability, and in this week's video blog I'll outline some of the important points of social host liability law. In 2006, Canada's highest court, the Supreme Court of Canada, found that a social host does not, as a general rule, have a duty to protect the public from a guest who consumes alcohol. That case, however, involves somebody who hosted a house party and told their guests to BYOB, bring their own booze. The host did not serve any alcohol and did not see that one of the guests was intoxicated before the guests left the party and badly injured another person in a car accident. The court's decision would likely have been different if the host was serving alcohol to its guests, or the host saw the guest was intoxicated when they left the party. People who serve alcohol as part of their business, such as a restaurant or a pub, do have a duty to the general motoring public to ensure people they serve alcohol to do not pose an unreasonable risk to others. Most businesses address this duty by training their staff to monitor customers drinking and providing means to access safe rides home. Also, employers who host holiday office parties owe a duty to their employees because there's a general expectation of supervision in an employment relationship, and this supervision often includes what people do at office parties. On the other hand, people who are hosting a house party for friends may owe a duty to people who might be harmed by their guests if the host is providing alcohol or they observe their guest to be intoxicated when that person leaves the party. These duties mean that if somebody is hurt as a result of not complying with the duty, they can be sued. If you are hosting a Christmas party or holiday party, particularly if you're an employer who is hosting the party for employees, here are some quick tips to help you address your duty to reduce the risk of harm coming to others. First, choose your party location wisely. Avoid having your party in a location where you know it's difficult for people to obtain a safe ride home. If you are an employer, try to have your party at a licensed establishment such as a restaurant or a pub. The duty that business has to safely serve and monitor guests is greater than the duty of the employer to monitor its guests, and it'll help the employer protect themselves from guests who have too much to drink. Second, if you host your party somewhere other than a commercial establishment, such as a restaurant or pub, and you have an open bar, staff the bar with someone. In other words, don't leave a counter full of booze for people to help themselves. You need not track people's drinks by having drink tickets, but somebody who is tasked at serving drinks that can monitor those who appear to be impaired and will protect that person from harming themselves and others is key. If you're an employer that is paying for the alcohol, you should either provide drink tickets to limit the consumption or close the open bar well before the end of the party to prevent overconsumption. An employer paying for unlimited alcohol is far more responsible for its effects than the employer who limits its availability. Third, serve food throughout the evening for the obvious reason that it'll reduce the effects of alcohol consumed, but also because it typically will reduce the amount of the alcohol consumed. Fourth, always have options for guests to find a safe ride home. You cannot force a guest to accept a safe ride home, but making them available goes a long ways to avoiding harm. If you have a friend who you know likes to drink, think ahead about how you'll help get them home. Don't leave that to be figured out at the end of the night. Fifth, if it is an office party, invite the family of the employees or at least the spouses. The purpose of a holiday office party is, of course, to celebrate a year's work well done. As a result, holiday office parties often involve a great deal of cheer and enthusiasm by employees, particularly when alcohol is involved. Accidents and even conflicts are not uncommon, but people tend to drink less or at least behave better when their spouses are around, and particularly if their children are present. Guests often still enjoy their drinks, but to less of an extreme if their families are there. In closing, nobody likes a party pooper, and this advice is not intended to dampen anyone's spirits, but clearly avoiding any harm that can come from hosting a holiday party is more important than having the party in the first place. I hope you've learned something about the law from listening to this vlog. Please feel free to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Thank you very much.